Absolutely. The countdown comes here.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1.
perfect.
Mm.
Okay, I are we live? I think we are.
Yes, we're live. Here
Hello and
we are.
welcome. Hello and welcome to that Beautiful Life podcast. This is episode. What number are we on, Rog? Is it
236.
236 of that Beautiful Life podcast? My name is Killis Campbell, sitting here in the beautiful Red United Kingdom, talking to the beautiful Roger Bergstrom all the way in Stockholm, Sweden. I may be a bit flustered. That's because I just rushed back home and just sat down, and my neck is kind of feeling weird, but I'm not sure why.
Oh man, you have stressed. Yeah, you just came in through the door and literally sat down and just pressed start when it
Yes.
comes to, the podcast. So
I also got soaked in the rain as well, so like I'm kind of damp.
that's because first I thought I can't see like everything, but I thought, okay, you have been sweating, bro. You have been like running or
No, that's the rain.
Okay, it's rain. I got it.
That's the rain. We walked back in the rain, and yeah, it was just sprinkling all over the place and stuff like that. So we just got
Okay.
back. It was wet.
Yeah.
So
So you picked up your missus, right, at the station or something, or?
yeah, I picked up my missus. She started a new gig actually, something just
Oh.
to help pad out the family expenses. While I search for something that we will, proper help us in what we need.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so she started I guess like a training program essentially.
Mm.
It's nothing permanent. It's just to through this training she will be compensated. So she had a first day today. So I dropped her off and I picked her up. Make sure she's all right. So tomorrow I'll drop off in the morning. I won't pick up in the afternoon because I have to pick up Ty around the same time. But yeah, it's kind of it.
Nice. So did it start like this week or
Today was the first day.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so she just went out today. She just did that today. I just picked her up, and yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of the gist of how it is right now. So a few things happening. There's just a few things happening in around the house. Other than that,
I mean, bro, we have to say this also for the listeners. Maybe they know, at least those that usually pop in and listen or watch. We haven't been podcasting for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did miss a week actually. That is
exactly.
True. That is
so,
true.
I mean, time has passed. I mean, 1 week is also time passing, but 2 weeks, well,
2
sometimes
weeks.
a lot of things,
Yeah, a lot of things do happen indeed. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. I think generally speaking, we've had I think for the past 2 weeks have been pretty, I guess, stable, normal, nothing eventful that I can think of that happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything interesting.
You said rain today. So have you guys had a lot of rain, or has it been occasionally, or how?
It's occasionally. It's occasionally. It's not a lot. So it's been occasionally raining and stuff like that. Nothing that I can. Nothing out of the ordinary. I think it's starting to like get to like towards winter weather.
True.
I
True,
think
indeed.
Yeah, it's getting colder.
No, it has happened a lot, hasn't it? Like over the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, I was thinking about that too when it comes to all the leaves that has fallen down from the trees on the lawn and on the yard wherever you are, and also the fact and also colder, like especially morning and evening, much colder. And also, I was thinking because we actually, fortunately, I would say, we have quite good weather this week so far. But last week we had rain. I think there were 2 days when it was raining quite some. I mean, you were here.
Yeah.
And here when it rains, it actually rains. It's like proper rain. It goes like that.
Yep.
So we've had that. But I mean, I guess as you were hinting, it's definitely it's fall now. It's fall. I mean, we are mid-October for God's sake. So I think the fall overall, at least from my perspective here, it's been pretty good weather overall. I think we've had quite a lot of sun hours, and I think the warm weather has been staying as long as it possibly could. So I'm not complaining. It's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, pretty decent for the most part. I mean, I can't say that I've gotten out a lot over the past week or two. I can't say I've really left the house very often. I've mostly been Yeah, I've mostly
But
been
aren't you
indoors.
taking like I was encouraging you. I was also hoping that you would continue to do
Take
some
walks.
yeah, take walks, go with a bike and stuff like that. Because as you know,
Um,
I'm still on my. I usually walk 2 times a day. I am really into it. The walk during after lunch, that's mandatory. That's like but then I usually go out, like, for example, yesterday, I was streaming. We're getting to that when we're talking about the game on the screen here,
hmm
or the actual stream. But after that, I go out. Even though
hmm
it might be 10 p.m. or even 11 p.m., I go out. I don't necessarily walk like for half an hour or long,
hmm
but, maybe 15, 20 minutes, or just, it
hmm
feels really good actually. When you come inside again, you can just relax and, feel a bit fresher, whatever. You got
hmm
some fresh air.
No,
So
I totally agree. I think in general, I think I've just been spending more time, um, I think more or less doing other things, and
yeah,
like I'm not saying like I haven't left the house at all, but I haven't really left the house very often over the past couple of weeks.
yeah.
I think I've been more indoors than leaving and going outdoors and stuff like that. And it comes to the Terry. Hey, what's going on, Cooper Knight? Welcome to the chat. That's Mario. Waiting for the you lose screen, Mister. Oh yeah. I haven't lost yet. I will explain that when we get to that point. But generally speaking, yeah, it's just been it's been all right. I can't say it's been the most eventful last week or and so forth.
Yeah.
But I can say that it's not been bad. So I haven't
Mm.
had a
Yeah,
bad
but that's good.
week, and that's good. I think, especially all things considered, I think not having good weeks is fine. Um. So I'm not gonna complain. I think I'll just
Yeah.
take it in
As
strides.
yeah, I think it's as your missus says here, time with family. Family loves you more for it. It's at the end of the day, I mean, we talk about our hobbies or our work and stuff like that, and what we
Mm-hmm.
like to watch and play and whatnot. But at the end of the day, family, friends, being healthy, it's always those basic things that you want to be in place, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like happy and feel good about yourself and your life. I think so that's also why I think some weeks, maybe just because I'm older now, but it's also nice when a week is very, how do you say, it doesn't have to be that hectic or a lot of things happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a bit impatient mostly, but I think that's good sayings though.
Yeah, definitely,
It's
definitely.
so
It's been all right. It's been all right. So like generally, I'm all right. I can't complain. I think I'm in a good space. I think I'm all right. My neck is a bit feeling weird. I'm not sure why, but
did you strain yourself when you went out to meet up with your missus,
can't think
or
of it. Can't think of any strain that I could. Nothing that I can. Nothing comes to mind at the moment.
been taking a nap in the sofa and weird angle, or
That usually gives me a neck pain, but I haven't had a nap on the sofa today.
yeah, I was just thinking.
I've been active all day today. Took a walk
Mhm.
with Alex in the morning, came back in the afternoon, did some cycling, um, picked up Thai. Nothing I can say that's a bit, yeah, that should have strained me. And I think since I've been back, I've been sitting at my desk, doing some, video editing and some other stuff. So
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
really
but
see.
sometimes those kind of things comes and go, and as your missus says once again, maybe you have slept awkward, because even though we don't feel it, we can
Mhm.
sometimes, when you wake up, you just feel, oh, it feels a bit weird, or it comes later during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. You just have to get another good night's sleep or something like that, and some exercise.
Yes, I
Yep,
do.
looking
Actually,
at
you know what?
that.
When I mentioned to Eric this morning, I was like, oh, I think I said to I think I asked him if he went for a walk today, and then
Mhm.
he was like, yeah. But then he thought I was asking him, do you want to go for a walk? Because he was like, yeah, I'm ready to go for
Oh,
another.
aha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
A bit of a difference. Yeah, exactly.
bit of a
It was a
difference,
question. Yeah, yeah.
but
Mm.
yeah. So it's what it is. Anyway, Rog, how was your week? Your past 2 weeks?
Uh,
Anything eventful that you can talk
yes.
about?
Yes. Last week,
Mm-hmm.
I have to think now when it comes to dates, so I'm not mixing things up. No, exactly. Last week on Tuesday, Agent Adam, my oldest son, had his birthday.
Oh, wonderful.
Uh, yeah, so we went to play. He said he wanted to, us to try out a place he has been eating at in the city.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Korean spicy chicken place.
Ooh.
So everything is chicken. To the left, to the right, up and down, chicken. It was very tasty. It was good. What we did is that we ordered in like four different dishes and we
Mm-hmm.
tried them. And of course, it's like you have 25% of picking the one that is the hottest one. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, I picked the one that was the hottest one, and I didn't know. Adam didn't say anything, and I took a bite. Um, and man, it was so strong. It was one of those that you feel that it's strong, like when you put it into your mouth, but
Mm-hmm.
after you have been chewing it, it comes like a bit later when the fire starts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, winner, chicken dinner. That was one of those, but it was a good place, quite price worthy, and
Mm-hmm.
pretty chill. Not like a fine wine and dine place, more like it's some music in the speakers, almost a bit like a vibe of a good like fast food restaurant, but still
Mm-hmm.
not fast food, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was chill. We had a good time, and everything, and that was that. Adam got a new shirt. He needed for sure another long sleeve shirt,
Mm-hmm.
so we gave him that, like long sleeves. I think it was gray or black or something. Yeah, looked good. Looked good. Um, and stuff. Otherwise, he has everything he needs. I mean, he has more money than me. My wife is it's like, what can we do? No,
It's the
jokes
little things
aside.
that matter. It's all about the little
eh,
things.
True, true. It's from the heart. But even so, yeah, Adam still has his Pontiac Firebird, his car at the workshop. I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned this. And he had a tough day at the beginning of this week because he had to go and, every year, at least here in Sweden, might be the same in UK, you have to go and check the car, right? It's like the
Mm-hmm.
state, thing. They use the flashlight, check the gearbox, check the steering, check the lights, blah blah blah. And I mean, it's an older car, and he had to come back for something. Yeah, it was actually the handbrake,
Mm-hmm.
and they thought they had fixed that well in at the workshop. But when he got back to re check, so to say, they said no, it has to be done better than that. So it was like, God damn. So because the workshop where he's at, a very good one by the way, for those kind of, especially American like cars,
Mm-hmm.
is at the other side of the city, so it's quite a long way to go. But they are very service minded. So he said, "Wait, what? Some of the guys working here, they live actually on your side, the south part of the city. So
Mm-hmm.
one of my guys will take the car when we fix the hand brake properly and everything,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and we will drive it to the control so they can check it, and then we drive it home to you.
Oh,
That's
okay.
service. Darn it." So
Brilliant.
that's going to happen most likely at the end of this week or beginning of next week. So that's really nice that I mean, they felt that they had not made a mistake because actually the handbrake works really well, but you have to pull it really hard and tight. Then it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I guess when they are checking the car or making the control, they just pull it too loose, like they don't really pull it up properly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the beginning of this week. But then another good thing happened. My music and everything, and I've had some more sales and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
the thing I wanted to mention is one of the this has been confusing for a lot of the composers on this platform, which is called Pond 5. That I might have been mentioning that nowadays you can well, they are using music for to AI learning and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very controversial topic, and it has you know drawbacks, or it's so new and it's not really well regulated. You don't really know what and where it's going to be used and shit like that. But even
Mm-hmm.
so, on this library I have said yes to the matter, in a way, and not on another library because I became a bit ambivalent. I was like, do I want that, or long story short, last year they paid a bit for that.
Yeah.
This year it seems as they have been catching up a bit when it comes to regulating these things, for AI learning. So I actually got a check like $500. Boom.
Ooh.
Yes, good. This means that at the end of this month or in November, I can finally upgrade my CPU on my PC now. Isn't that really convenient?
That is amazing. That's super cool.
So
that is
yeah, it's really good. The timing was like
perfect.
Yeah, I heard some music from heaven when the sky was something like that. No, just kidding. But it was a good timing. So Adam said that. Well, wait. Well, he's he's very nice. He's a good son. I have two good sons. Isaac is also great. But Adam went back and just checked the parts that he has been checking out for me. And he said, well, it's November soon. If you have some ice in the stomach, and we'll just just wait.
Black
and
Friday.
We'll see exactly. Black Friday, or I would say nowadays it's like Black Week or even Black Month, because they tend to have sales more than just the day or even a week. So I'm going to wait for it. Yeah, well done, Rod. Yeah, isn't it good? Thank you. You can be saying R. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
No, it's nice. So and stuff like that. Yeah, I also start to see. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but it's starting to stack up a bit also in the back end because my music has been used. I've talked about this. How do you say fingerprint when it comes to copyright ID, right? When it comes to YouTube, my music being used on YouTube. So I see now that is starting to accumulate. So yeah, it's moving in a kind of a nice direction in some ways, and yeah, we'll talk more about that later on. But as a whole, well, I guess the it's been good 1 or 2 weeks. We haven't been able to rehearse with the band. People have been very busy, but we're gonna meet up on Saturday at like 10:30 before noon. We never do that, but that was the only time that we could get us 5 guys together to play some music. So it's really weird. Yeah, they don't really lower the prices on Black Friday. Nah, it depends on. Sometimes they actually do. And the thing why Adam said that too is not only because of Black Friday or something. It's also the fact that there are new parts, like new CPU models stuff coming out. And what happens then is that they usually lower, that doesn't have so much to do with the Black Friday, but they usually lower the price on the former model or models. You know what I mean? So he knows that. He knows, like, well, for example, that yeah, whatever motherboard or something, it's gonna get cheaper. So yeah, I'm just listening to him.
Take the expert advice. That's the thing. Take the expert advice because that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I know also, as your missus says, wait till January after Christmas. Yeah, that's also an idea, of course. At the same time, I'm not sure if I can wait that long.
It is a long wait.
I've been waiting a long time already, like 2 years about, due to
it is quite
obviously.
It is quite a long wait to wait. So yeah, totally understandable. I think in general, I think in general it's good if you if it, like, especially depending on the make of your motherboard and all that kind of stuff, if you can get a processor now and put it into your system, and it helps with your streams or your content creation and stuff like that. I think it pays for itself in the end. Like for me, generally speaking, like I've wanted to upgrade mine as well, but mine is still serviceable. Like it's still I'm not in dire need for an upgrade. It would help, obviously. I think
it always does. We can always go higher.
We can. I mean,
that it's like
we could definitely always go. I would love to have a better processor. I'd love to have a better processor, motherboard, and RAM. I think my graphics card, I'm happy with that at the point in time, and I'd love to have a better monitor as well. But at the end of the day, what I have works, and I can't complain about that. I think that's generally it. So yeah, that's kind of it. And speaking about what works, Roger, do you have anything else to add, or can we talk about some video games?
Are we gonna? Yeah, let's talk video games. So we'll see what happens with these. I'll keep you updated. Also, me saying, or see what you're writing there. We'll see. Yeah.
You've been playing a game, Raj.
Yeah.
That I'm quite interested in.
Yeah, I thought so. That's actually why I usually don't post a link to like one of my videos. I mean, why would I do that? But this time I did because I just thought, well, maybe Q would find this interesting because
Mhm.
I did, and I wasn't really expecting that. So yeah. The game that I also saw you trying out, and as you can see on the screen here, that Q is playing is called Strinova.
Mhm.
And well, as you see, Strinova is a shooter. It's an anime shooter.
Mhm.
It's actually a tactical shooter as well because this game can easily go into competitive mode
Yeah.
if you're talking ranked gameplay and things like that. The game is already released in China in early access. As far as I know, um, I believe. No. I'm mixing things up. Forget what I said. I was thinking about another game. There's so many playtests for me right now. Like, but anywho, this game, yes, Strinova. So I remember some weeks ago, or maybe even more than a month or something
Mhm.
like that. I came across this game on Steam. Sometimes I go through and see what's coming and stuff like that. So I put it on my wish list, and then oh, the demo or the demo slash playtest is up and running. So I downloaded it and started to play. And as you all also have tried, it's a tutorial first,
Mhm.
and you might think, okay, why should I pay attention to this game? Well, first off, if you like anime, that's cool. You got some nice characters and whatnot. We're getting to that. You can fill in later, Q. But the thing is, as you see here, that is the thing. The mechanics right there. The paper thin mechanics going from because this is a third person shooter.
Yeah.
And of course that also means that well with these good graphics, I would say it looks good. Your personality, your character is of course 3D, three
Yeah.
dimensional. However, you can just by pressing, I think it's control on your keyboard if you play in keyboard and mouse, which I am.
Yeah.
Then you can do exactly what Q did. You become paper thin, like 2D, and this is for two reasons in this game. One, you can pass through like narrow spaces, maybe a door that is half open when it comes to map design.
Mhm.
But foremost, I would say, when you start to get the hang of the game and you get into gunfights, you can, for example, when you need to reload or you feel that your HP is going down, you're getting hit, make yourself paper thin and strafe to the sides. You can't shoot while you're doing that, but you can reload.
Yeah.
And that's how I won a lot of gunfights when I started to
Same.
do that. Exactly. It's a part of the gameplay mechanics and it's really cool.
Yeah.
The other thing, of course, with the paper thin, as you've discovered, is of course you can move faster. I mean, you can hang glide more or less.
Mhm.
You can double jump and glide to like a higher ground, if you will, and take advantage of that.
Mhm.
And
You can
uh,
also go into walls as well.
exactly. And not only that, if you play because what I liked is these mechanics. That's why I came back playing the game more and also streamed it yesterday. I like the gunplay. I like the guns. It's pretty straightforward, you know.
Mhm.
The different uh, the different waifus, I must add, have different setups or loadouts when it comes to weapons. So it's not like in Valorant, you buy a certain weapon. They are all tied to that
Mhm.
character. So if you want to change like gun, you change character literally
Mhm.
and get another sort of ability as well.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. But the gamers are pretty cool. I mean it's pretty standard when it comes to a more easy like 7v7 team deathmatch. They also have an escort mode. I'm getting to that in a second.
Mhm.
But what I also liked when it comes to a more advanced kind of version of TDM or almost like a battle royale thing where the map becomes smaller towards the end
Mhm.
is that you have three teams of three players
Yeah.
each, or maybe even more teams. But I played this a few
It's
times.
3v. It's 3v3. It's literally
Yeah,
like
isn't it?
as you
Yeah,
mentioned it. It's on the screen right now. Surprisingly, it's like it's perfectly connected to us. We're talking.
yeah. The timing is great here,
Timing is
but then
perfect.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really had fun playing,
Mhm.
and then as mentioned, there's a payload like escort mode. If you played Team Fortress 2, you know what I'm talking about, escorting a payload. And
Mhm.
as you said, Q, since you can not only do yourself paper thin in order to like here maybe avoid bullets, as a kind of a strategy. But you can also get close to certain surfaces. I saw you doing that too, like walking up the walls and reach higher ground. But you can also attach yourself to a wall. And I think that's really cool. But not only that, when you play escort with a payload, I didn't understand that at first. But then I saw someone in my team, gluing onto the back of the payload, which is a small strat. So when the enemy came and they started to figure out and tried to shoot me and my friend, we were just walking on the sides of the payload, stuck to the actual, like being paper thin to the payload. I think that's pretty cool. No, I think this is a surprisingly fun, and I mean, I like fast-paced shooters, and I also like games that has like fast respawns, and this game has both.
Yeah.
And I also like the fact that it can be very casual, but it can also definitely be competitive. I haven't played ranked yet, but it's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
You fill in, Q, what you think about this, because this was so under my radar, and I
It
don't.
was on the mine as well. I think if you hadn't sent me the link to the link to your video, I would have never come across this, because it's, as you guys, most of you who know me know, I don't play a lot of first person or third person shooters. But Roger, you put me onto this,
I'm glad you tried, and that I'm happy you checked it out.
It's pretty cool. So Strinova is developed and published by iDream Sky. Those are the guys behind it, and I got it through Steam. I believe you can probably get it through their website, but I found getting it through Steam the most convenient, because I use Steam for pretty much everything. The demo is up on there, so that's where, they say demo, but it's pretty much the game.
Yes, that's true. I think the playtest is gonna be up until 20th or 21st of October, something like that.
Yeah, they better keep it up. I better be able to keep my waifus that I've unlocked, because if you log in now, you get a bunch of stuff when you start, like a bunch of coin and stuff that you can claim, and the currency and so forth, and then you can get special waifu costumes and so forth. So far, the costumes they have aren't anything too special. But I'm waiting for the swimsuit costumes to drop. That being said, so it is. Of course, it's a Chinese-made game. I believe I believe it's Chinese. At least that's what I think it is. The language support in it is. It could be Japanese as well. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But language support we have for this is English, Japanese, and simplified Chinese. These are all fully voiced and interface. The rest of languages they have are just for interface and subtitles, which include traditional Chinese, Korean, French, German, Russian, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese to be specific, and Latin America Spanish. I think these are the regions that they think they're going to probably make the most money in, so that's why they're targeting those regions. It's a PEGI 12 rating, and that's genuinely just because I guess waifus. I don't know. I don't know why else use PEGI 12. Maybe because it has gunplay. But the gameplay is quite. It is quite. What I would say, it's quick. You do tend to have to do a lot of Twitch gameplay. Turning sideways and moving and strafing and doing all this sort of stuff. I fully haven't understood all the mechanics yet. There's sort of like an alt or special move that each character comes with. I most of the time forgot I had that. I didn't even realize I had it until like I saw someone do something cool, and I was like, wow, how did they do that cool thing? And then I remembered, oh wow, there's this thing I can press Q and then I could do stuff. And because of the fact I don't usually play with mouse and keyboard, this is really challenging for me. I couldn't find an option to play this with a controller, which kind of sucks. I wish it had controller support. But then again, I'm sure I can get back to mouse and keyboard. But yeah, either way, it's got mouse and keyboard support. That's kind of the way you want to play this game. It's online PvP or online co-op if you join in with your team. I think, Rod, you mentioned most of the modes. You can do 3v3, you can do a group of I think it's like 5 or something like that. You have a bunch of waifus and about 3 husbandos to choose from. No one's ever going to choose the husbandos, so don't even worry about that. It's all about the waifus. I've
played with them, but
no one's going to choose the husbandos. Don't believe Rod. He didn't even play the husbandos. He think he did, but he was imagining it. The fact is, everyone is here for the waifus.
Did you get like I've had more time playing the game compared to you, but I tend to, I think I found my favorite. It was actually Well, there are a reason to choose from different classes.
Mm-hmm.
Classes. It depends on how the team is structured and everything, and what
Mm-hmm.
kind of ability you're looking for, or the gun itself, of course.
Yeah.
However, the first one I played, and I think that's the girl, the one like with the blonde hair. I don't know names or anything.
With the blonde hair.
Yeah, she had like a thing she could put up. It looked like a camera, but it's more like a trap. So if people get close to it, they get like
The one that takes your shield away.
no, 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 no. I know which one that
I hate
is.
that, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. She's very powerful. I think that's the one you're shooting at right now. Isn't
Yeah.
that the one?
Can't stand
The
her.
redhead, isn't it? Yeah. No, that's my girl running there, trying to shoot the enemy. Yeah, with the blonde hair. That's
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, I played a lot with her. I had some great matches with her. But
Mm-hmm.
anywho, yeah, it's no, but it's cool. Cool. I mean, I know that some people also, that are like me playing a lot of shooter games don't
Mm-hmm.
like third person shooters. But I mean, we've talked about this before. I come from a background of playing quite some third person shooters as well, not
Mm-hmm.
only first person. Like Gears of War, just to
Mm-hmm.
mention one of the most beastie third person shooter games ever,
Yeah.
at least the first games. But I think because it's the one thing I have to mention, we have to add here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I said that. You can see on the screen now. I mean, when Q is running around like playing
Mm-hmm.
like this, it is third person view.
Yeah.
However, when you aim down sight like
Mm-hmm.
this and shoot,
First
it's not
person.
like a normal third person shooter. You would still see over the shoulder or look over the shoulder. You actually aim down sight in first person mode.
Yeah.
This is something that some people hate
I
because
like it.
yeah, I like it, but I'm gonna explain why. I have played games when they have done like this, and it doesn't work that well because it becomes very, I don't know how to put this, because you get an advantage if you are in a third person mode,
Mm-hmm.
and you can peek around corners, like you can
Mm-hmm.
use the camera to your advantage, right?
Right.
uh,
Right. Right.
yeah, and some competitive shooter guys don't like that when that is mixed. Either
Mm-hmm.
it's third person or it's first person, basta, nothing in between. But in this game, and I felt it works really well. I think the reason why is that it is a third person. You can't choose to
Mm-hmm.
play first person like as a standard, if you put it like that, and
Mm-hmm.
then just go into third person whenever. It's
Yeah.
third person, but when you aim down sight, it's first. It's third person, but with the aim down sight, it's first person. Oh God, I'm messing things up. But I hope you understand. So for me, in combination with the gameplay mechanics, it works
Mm-hmm.
good. It works good. I have nothing bad to say about that. I'm just reflecting over something that I have experienced before when it wasn't that great, and of course also what other people has been saying when it comes to those kind of things.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
I
but
think the character that you used as well, just the thing. I think the character you used, I think her name is Michelle. She's got twin
yes,
pigtails. I've used her
yes.
as well. She's one of the characters I've used.
Mm.
I don't think I've got a main yet. I think I'm still trying to figure out the characters. Of course, I'm gonna try not all the waifus, as many as possible. There are some that are not yet available to us here in the West. Looking on their
Most
website, you
likely.
can see their characters that we don't have access to, or
Hmm.
and then you have like, I think when you log in now, you get a bunch of costumes and items, and they've got like their own match pass kind of thing, and a pachinko machine kind of randomized loot box thing to get like
Yes,
outfits and so
yes.
forth. They give you a lot of their in-game currency to start with, so that you can grab a bunch of this stuff. But it's a limited amount that you can grab initially. But once the game is fully available, there's going to be a lot more, I assume, and you're going to have the free match pass, and then you're going to have the paid for one, as well as all the other transactions that you could do in game. Now, what I think about something like that, for example, is this is where I would say the rating for this game probably shouldn't be PEGI 12. I think I think it probably should be higher, especially once you have loot boxes and you have these match passes and stuff like that, because there's possibility to spend a absorbent amount of money on this
Yes,
type of
yes.
game. I couldn't find any way to purchase any kind of currency in the game when in my time playing on it, So I'm assuming that hasn't been enabled yet because yeah, it's demo mode and they're trying to get people interested in it.
Exactly, exactly. I found out though that it felt like the progress was quite fluent, if I put it like
Yeah.
that. It felt as it wasn't too slow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have been able to unlock new characters, and it hasn't been taking like forever. With some games, it's just so tedious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it felt pretty good here. And as you said, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of. It's always the thing nowadays with live service games and stuff like that. In a way, I kind of hate that because it has destroyed so many good games when it comes to the monetization model.
Yeah.
But at the same time, nowadays, at least most, still some weird exceptions, but most of the time, they know that, well, what we can do is to play around with cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
We can do nice skins, which they have.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, of course, outfits for the waifus. And then I'm laughing. Okay. But, it's, yeah, those kind of things. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen.
There's a lot of potential for this to be I think this is going to be quite popular. Like
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell nowadays. It depends on so many things.
mhm,
It's not only to have a good product or a good game. You also have to have, uh, well, I mean, to get some recognition, of course.
yeah,
Today, of course, if you get some influencers playing the game and really talk well about it, that's great.
yeah,
But not only that, because that can be a quick fix. I've seen too many games just, they get some golden days or months, and then they just, kind of die. So it's up to the devs also to prove themselves when it comes to, a good roadmap, when it comes to maybe battle passes and
mhm,
new content, new maps, new characters, all that stuff.
mhm,
Because we have to remember, and I think I've said this many times. It's one thing if you log into a game and maybe play it once or twice a week, but if you're someone that will just, start to play this game maybe 4 or 5 times a week or more, well, after a few weeks, you're like, I want new content. At the
yeah,
same time, we're also living times now where people are very consume thirsty, if that makes sense. So
mhm.
patience is not the biggest kind
People
of
want a quick payoff, and
yeah,
I think the other thing too is I think if they do have when you mentioned like the whole roadmap thing, I think if they do have a solid roadmap of improving the game, going forward would be good.
yeah,
Because like a good example of the opposite of that is I went into Paladins recently,
yeah. I
and
saw that. I saw you did that the other day or something.
yeah, I
Hmm.
was trying to check to see if it was because I saw an update on my computer for it because I still have it
Yeah,
installed, and I was like, how is that game now? Like it's been out for a
yeah.
while. I haven't played it in a while. How does it look? How does it run? Paladins looks dated, like visually, like they haven't updated.
Mm,
Like I've got a pretty decent computer, like I could run
yes,
Paladins at a much higher frame rate, make it look better and stuff like that.
yeah.
But when I look at Paladins on my computer, the shadows look dated. You see pixelated
Yes.
shadows. I've got it set to maximum settings, and I find Paladins looks ugly, right? And that's considering the fact that this game has been out for ages. Now I understand that their target market is probably for people with lower spec PCs and all that kind of stuff,
Mm,
but have it scalable. Like have this thing be scalable because like this game, I'm on very high settings right now. Like the footage you
yeah.
guys are seeing is very high. I haven't
Mm,
even put this to the max settings yet. I will at
exactly.
some point test out the max settings to see how much glorious it can look. But I'm on very high settings and it's running perfectly fine. And
Yeah.
this game on high looks better than Paladins.
Yeah, of
So
course. Yeah, true, true. This is interesting what you're saying right now. And the same for me. Also still having a bit of a weaker CPU. I had no problem playing and recording this on high settings or
mhm,
streaming it on high
yeah.
settings. And then I can struggle with some other games so it's like almost unplayable. It really depends on a lot of things, of course. The graphics engine itself, how
Mhm,
well optimized it is, we all that technical stuff.
mhm.
But as you say, yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, Paladins is still a good game in
It
many
is still
ways,
a
I
good
think.
game,
And
yeah.
and I mean, I played it last time I played. I think I made a video on my channel. Maybe was it summer or before summer or something? I
Mhm,
can't remember now. But yeah, it would be great. Imagine if they could. I don't know if they could improve the graphics, the look of the game.
mhm,
That would be very beneficial, I believe. I
mhm.
mean, again, graphics isn't everything. We know that,
Yeah.
but it's especially when it comes to yeah, I don't know, some fast paced in this case a shooter game. But even so, it's nice to look at it and to maybe, especially also now, people, I guess younger people also have higher standards when it comes to, not everyone, but when it comes to how it looks.
Hmm.
So
I think I think for me, because this game is also I think available on mobile as PC, right? At
mhm.
least from looking at their website, that's what it seems to be available for what they're targeting essentially. And you can tell most of the people that are
No,
probably.
I think it's no wait. I think again, I made videos about different games here, but I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure that the release when it comes to this game is planned to be soon.
Hmm.
The latest early 2025, but I think the mobile version is going to be released in 2025, and
Hmm.
also when it comes to console.
Yeah.
I know they talked about that, and then it's of course it's going to be crossplay, but it's going to be PC release first. That's at
Hmm.
least what I've understood when I was doing my digging for the video that I
which is
posted. you
which
know,
is is great. I think starting with PC makes a lot of sense. But
yes, I think so too.
I think mentioning the mobile aspect of it, I think that has to be a part of the roadmap for a lot of
Mm.
these types of games because of the fact that a lot of younger people, especially when you think of certain markets like maybe India or maybe some of the Asian markets, they predominantly play on mobile. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I spoke to a friend of ours, Kushel, and he told me about in India they play a lot of their games on mobile devices. You
Sure.
know, they a lot of the games that we play, it's just they play the mobile versions because
Yes.
a phone is cheaper and internet on mobile is cheaper in those countries, so it costs
Yeah.
them less. They could easily just pick up a phone and they're good to go.
Mm.
But yeah, generally speaking, this is a great game so far. I can see how it can deteriorate in the sense of like the monetization of it. I personally, I know I have enough self restraint to avoid spending my life savings on waifus and games such as this. I think I will. I think I can be satisfied with what I have thus far in the
Yeah.
game and maybe one or two other costumes for my waifus and I'll be good. But I can see how this can be quite addictive. So I would say, generally speaking, this could be fun for some mature people who can handle their expenses, and for those, excuse me, those of you with with less self restraint in regards to that, I would probably say I probably say avoid this, especially if you like waifus, because you could put yourself into a lot of debt with a waifu game like this, with top tier quality looking waifus. The visuals look amazing. I wish more games
Yeah.
look like this.
Important to
Uh,
say also, it's free to play.
it
I
is free
mean,
to play. It is
yeah.
free to play. Well, nothing's free in life anyway, but
Yeah, but
it's
you
free
don't
to
have to
start.
pay in order to play it. You can go, and I think that's important to say too, because I've been covering a lot of free to play titles through the years when it comes to FPS and shooter games,
Yeah.
and sometimes there's always this discussion. We talked about this also regarding the monetization model. Is it pay to win? Do you have to buy things in order to keep up?
To be
I mean,
competitive. Yeah.
exactly. This depends on a lot of things. Of course, the foremost, the construction of the whole monetization models. Are there and is there anything that is behind a paywall when
Hmm.
it comes to something that makes something better, the character, an ability, or a gun that you maybe can unlock if you grind for 200 hours? But and then the guys that really loves the game and don't want to criticize, whoa, it's not pay to win, it's pay to progress. But bro, no, it's pay to win. I'm sorry. It is. It actually is,
Hmm.
per definition. But at the same time, I mean, I've been playing some games. Enlisted, for example, this World War II free-to-play shooter
Hmm.
is one of those. I haven't spent a dime, and
Hmm.
I played it on and on like Paladins for years and years, and I do well in the game.
Yeah.
I do very well in the game. It comes up to most of the time. I mean, I play a lot of shooters, so I know how to play shooters. So
Hmm.
I mean, I don't have to buy certain things just to get more kills. It's not that. So again, I hope this game don't go the wrong way regarding that. I don't think it doesn't feel as if they gonna. Something tells me they won't. And if that's the case, then kudos to them. I think they are onto something cool, and hopefully more people, take their time to try out the game.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
my thing.
I think the gameplay is probably primarily where it's at.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, the fact that you know, you don't have to pay money to be competitive in this. You just have to play. A lot of what you spend money on is the cosmetic aspect of it, and
Yes.
I can see how you like. Again, for me, I can see how you can spend a lot of money, but at the same time, if you're responsible enough and you know, it's not like they're to get that competitive edge, you need to spend money. You don't need to spend
No.
money to get a competitive edge. It's all about how you want your character to look, and that just comes down to your personal preferences. At the end of the day, for me, I like how the game looks. I mean, I really like this game. I could recommend this to my friends, people of my age group, people of my friend group who are looking for a game that they can play multiplayer with other people. I would probably even play this with my family members as well.
Hmm.
And you know, but at the same time, this we wait for the full release, but we jump in now. I would recommend jumping in now if you're considering it, because as I said, I when I logged in, I got a bunch of stuff, like a lot of
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
credits and stuff. And I just unlocked a bunch of things. I don't know if that's gonna
Yeah.
roll over into the full release. I hope it does. I hope I'm not just getting all this stuff and then they're gonna take it away.
That
But
I don't know. That I don't know.
mhm,
Actually, it really differs between games. I
yeah,
played games where they start zero when the game is actually released,
mhm,
and then I played games where some progress actually carry over.
yeah.
So I that I don't know. It's a good
Mhm.
question.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This is the like all the stuff that they have in this release is available in the full like when
Yeah.
they it goes full instead of it just being a demo. So when they do fully release this, hopefully I get, you know, we all get to keep all of our cosmetics and items and skins and all that kind of stuff, because again it's all again cosmetic. It's all cosmetic stuff. It's
Yes,
however you want to use it. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun game.
it is.
It's a lot. There's a lot to learn about how it plays and the mechanics and everything that you can do in it. But that's going to take time and effort. And then once you do get the hang of it, I think it's going to be fun. So for me, I am looking forward to playing the hell out of this and sharing more of my opinions of it in the future. And I have to say, shout out to Rog for recommending it to me, because I definitely wouldn't have found this on my own accord.
Well, as said, it was a coincidence partly for me. Yeah, I keep my eyes open, so to say, but I wasn't expecting this, to be
Yeah,
honest. So,
easily a good recommendation, Rog. That being said, I think do we have any more games that we're talking about today, or are we jumping to Tele?
I do, but I will save it for the next time. Actually, time flies, and we should definitely talk a bit about Telly too.
So with
Uh,
regards to Tele, I'll start with, again, similarly, I have not really watched anything new that I want to talk about this week. I have watched new things, but for those of you who have noticed on the YouTube page, there are some episodes scheduled already for next week and the week after. And those episodes I have already put in stuff that I've seen already, that I've watched already, that I want to maybe watch another episode or two just to get a feel for and then be able to talk about it further. So I think what Rog wants to talk about today is something that I have seen and I've wanted to talk a bit
exactly.
more in detail about. So I think what we'll use the next part of the podcast is to talk about that. So Rog, I think I'll leave it to you to start, and then you know we can have a discussion about it going forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's time for another superhero movie, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mhm.
I think so. This is the newest Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
It's great to have these guys together, and I enjoyed it. I had
Mhm.
fun watching. It was me and Isaac watching it together. It's Ryan Reynolds again, of course, with Hugh Jackman,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's. I gotta get straight into it and say, well, first off, it has a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Mhm.
I am somewhere around there. I think this was good, but it wasn't the best Deadpool in my opinion.
Mhm.
7.6 maybe, I don't know.
7.6. Ooh.
Yeah, I am not that generous today. But no, to be serious, it is good. I mean, at least I like Deadpool. I like the weird shit jokes they pulled off, and it's not so political correct all the time, to be
Mhm.
honest. And I kind of like that. It starts good. I really like the beginning. I like the first 25-30% of the movie. Then, as it often is, maybe it was me also slacking a bit. It kind of, I don't know. It was it was good also, like in the end, but there was some part that I wasn't. I think it kind of lost me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Slowed down, and there was some other characters showing up, and yeah. I don't know if you want to know the
I
plot.
think
We
it's.
can take it here. I just gonna say this. Sorry, Q, just
Mm-hmm.
before you fill in, because I this was just a general saying what I thought about the movie as a whole and the parts and whatnot. But it is an interesting thing going on here because Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority. Think about that. Time Variance
Mm-hmm.
Authority is quite funny. But instead recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just realizes he has to find a Wolverine that can actually pull this one off together with him. And they
Mm-hmm.
don't get so well together. So it takes a few attempts because before he finds whatever the right one is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that there you have it. That's the underlying story, and the director is Sean Levi, by the way. But fill
Mm-hmm.
in Q. What do you think?
Me personally, I enjoyed this movie. I
Mm,
I had a lot of fun with Deadpool
yeah, yeah,
and
same.
Wolverine. I I would give it an 8 out of 10
Mm,
on
mm,
IMDb. It's a 7.8 like you mentioned. I think where the movie sort of slows down for you, where a bunch of other characters pop in and all that kind of stuff, this all has to do with old superhero movies. So a lot of the characters that pop in later on in the film, right, come from old Marvel movies that were
exactly.
originally done from the Fox days and all these sort of
Yeah,
other producers and all that kind of stuff. So you have like Blade popping up. You
yeah.
have you
That I
have
like though. It's seeing Wesley Snipes. It's
it
like
was it
yes.
was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I think also like Channing Tatum popping up as
Gardner, yeah, Electra, Jennifer Gardner.
elect
Yeah,
Jennifer Gardner's Electra. That was
yeah.
cool as well. Channing Tatum popping up as Gambit, which was supposed to happen but didn't happen. That was a planned film that never came
Yeah,
out.
right.
And I think what for me the most exciting one was actually what's his name popping up as the Human Torch. What's his name again? He plays
Yeah, it's
Captain
Captain
America.
America. It's what is it? Bill Evans? No, what is
It's
his name?
Chris Evans,
Come on,
isn't it?
Chris Evans. Thank you.
Chris Evans
Bill
as
Evans is a jazz musician, or was. Yeah, look at that now.
seeing Chris
Mhm.
Evans as the Human Torch was absolutely amazing. I think I see it at the end. There's a post credit that involves him that's quite hilarious as well.
I
Seeing
agree. I agree. I like that. There was some parts there that were just pretty insane.
it was it
So
was it was
yeah.
beautiful. I think in general I think it was a good movie. I
Mhm.
genuinely enjoyed this one. I think it's one that you can easily stomach. It's digestible. I don't know if I think it's better than the first one, but I
I
don't
know
remember the
that's
second
what I
one.
feel. Yeah, yeah, okay. Sorry, interrupting. Yeah, I hold the first one, or was it the second one? I tend to, but the memory of them
Mm-hmm.
was like as a whole. I kind of think as a movie as a whole, it was better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you said it so many times. You had a good time. You probably laughed. I did for sure.
Yeah.
And I recommend the movie. And
Yeah.
we can go that far as also say, of course. I mean, if we put like a give it a kind of 8 or just under 8 on
Mm-hmm.
IMDb or something like that, then for sure it's definitely worthwhile
Mm-hmm.
if you like these kind of movies.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, continue. I was looking for something. Yeah.
No, I think as superhero movies go, this is one of those sort of like because I think a lot of superhero movies take themselves seriously. This does not take
Yeah.
itself seriously.
No, no, no.
It is off the walls. It's silly. It's cynical. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking stuff in here. There's a lot of callbacks to older films, and I think generally the amount of enjoyment you get from this comes from either how much understanding you have of the comics as well as how much understanding you have of previous films. So like previous films, like for example, if you watch Logan and you see X-23 in this, you're like, oh my god, she's grown up.
Yes,
If
yes,
you
yes.
if you've seen for example, if you've read in the comic books about the big baddie in this, yeah, I think it's what's her name, something maneuver something or whatever have you. She's like um Cassandra Nova, right? If you now she's not in any of the previous films. She is a comic book character, but if you've read the X-Men comic books, she's known. Like you would know of her essentially. So it's a cool kind of first time seeing this character in movie sense in a film. And then you have other characters that have just popped up from previous Deadpool movies and other characters from other X-Men movies or other Marvel movies, or characters who just are comic book characters who've never been in film before but are in this film. So for me, I think it was fun. It was fun watching it. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed the movie. I think Ryan Reynolds, I think in general, from a lot of the stuff that's come out from Marvel in the past couple of years, this has been the best that they've put out in the last couple of years. I think everything else that Disney and Marvel have put out in, I don't know, maybe the last 3, 4, 5 years has not hit for me. I think most of what they've put out has sort of fallen flat. It's just, it hasn't resonated as well. I felt like this one was tongue in cheek because the other thing too is that it made fun of those movies as well. Like there were a lot of moments where they were like, oh, like, you know, Ryan Reynolds was sort of like speaking to the audience and saying, hey, I know you guys didn't like these particular things. Let's not do that here. You know, let's make fun of it here. And I like that. I like that tongue-in-cheek sort of like self-awareness of what the audience wants. And I think that's why a movie like this did so well or does so well, because of the fact that it's tongue-in-cheek and it's self-aware of what's not good or what audiences don't want. And it gives them what they want while also making fun of what they don't want at the same time. And I think that's pretty cool. So
I agree.
Deadpool was and Wolverine, easily a lot of fun. I think Ryan Reynolds is a beast, and almost everything he puts out so far. I'm not saying he's perfect because everyone slips up at some point, but everything he's put out thus far in recent years has been a hit, and I'm happy for that. I don't know if he's gonna put out any stinkers. You know, he was the guy in what do you call it, Green Lantern? He was in Green Lantern, and that was a stinker. But generally speaking, he's been hitting them out of the park, you know, recently, and I like that. So shout out to Ryan Reynolds and you know.
I actually rewatched the Green Lantern not like too long ago because I really wanted, you know, sometimes, we talked about that, going back watching movies we've seen before.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, and I think it's not a great movie. It's not compared to many others. It's not. Don't get me wrong. But if I think about what he's doing in the movie, also, I don't think it's like his fault, if you will.
It's poor direction.
Yeah, it is. It's more that it's yeah.
I think for a lot of movies, it's like the film Jupiter Ascending. Like I love Channing Tatum in films, and I love seeing Mila Kunis in films. But I think the direction of Jupiter Ascending made that a film that I didn't enjoy. Right?
Yeah, for me, I remember that one. That was fell a bit flat, I think.
It could have been so much more, and the direction just didn't like land. It was just like, you have this great concept. There's so many great potential things from it, but it just didn't land it properly. And I think you see it with games as well. You see games come out where it's like a great concept, great idea, great character design, whatever it is, but then the story doesn't land, or the gameplay doesn't land, or something's not right. And yeah, I think that's something that we've had a lot of, you know, in recent years, where, you know, you have all these great actors and all that kind of stuff, and you put these really great directors and all sort of stuff in stuff, and it just doesn't land because there's something missing. There's something that sometimes it's you know, from the higher ups in studios that want certain things in a film that maybe doesn't work, or sometimes it's screen time. Maybe a director wants to do a 3-hour, 4-hour film, and they're like, no, we want it down to 2 hours, and then you film this whole big thing. It's kind of like that movie they made with Justice League, where there was a Schneider cut, and then they had this other cut, and then it was just all this sort of complicated stuff. But then when the Schneider cut came out, people were like, oh my god, it's a much better movie with the Schneider cut than the original.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
So,
and it's also interesting. It can be sometimes, you know, people can get too over ambitious in a way, and sort of miss the target, as you're describing. And there's a lot of things that can go from. I don't know. It's just, but that's also why I think, as you're pointing towards, why it's nice also with Deadpool and Wolverine, because it doesn't take itself too seriously.
It doesn't.
And he's making jokes that goes. Yeah, of course he smashes jokes into the faces of the other characters, but he also does it to himself.
Yeah.
Because in many ways, there is a depth at the same time with his character, feeling like a bit of a loser and lost his woman, and everything, and you can see that shines through once in a while in
Yeah.
some of the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So Reynolds can also get into that character if he needs to.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there you
It's
go.
pretty cool.
So
I think one last thing to add on to the whole superhero film thing is I think one of the things that would make superhero films better for viewers coming into them is hopefully, and I think this is what Deadpool and Wolverine did, is that hopefully you can get into it without having to have too much prior knowledge of previous stuff, because you can watch this
yes,
film
yeah,
without knowing any of the other Deadpool films and enjoy it. A
I
lot
agree.
of these other films need you to know stuff from the previous films, because as I said, they take themselves a lot more seriously. So if you watch, like, for example, the latest Thor movie or the latest Guardians of the Galaxy or Ant-Man or something, a lot of them rely on your prior knowledge of previous films,
Yeah,
and especially some of the films are connected not just from the same series. So for example, an Ant-Man film might have a connecting story plot line coming from the Shield series, or from Loki, or from Black Panther, or whatever. If you're not caught up on watching every single film that came out, every single series that came out, you're lost. You're just lost in the middle of, and I think that's daunting for people. I think for a lot of people, having to go through and watch all of these films just to be able to watch another new film is difficult. For me, I haven't watched a lot of the newer Marvel films specifically for that reason, because some of them are connected to TV series, and I have not watched a lot of the TV series. So for me, it's like, I don't want to go and watch a whole series of this just to watch that. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. This solves that, and I think hopefully going forward, they just focus on just giving us good films without, because I do like my superhero films. So a good film without having all this prior knowledge, maybe this is the reset that we need going forward, and that'll be great. So yeah.
But that's all. I totally agree with you. That's why for example, that is one of the reasons why I also liked the Batman from 2022
Yes.
with Robert Pattinson. I also I think I talked about that in a former podcast, like rewatched it. When was that? Beginning of this year, maybe?
I saw it this year as well. I think it was awesome.
It is good. It is really good.
Yeah.
For many reasons. And of course, Zoe Kravitz adds to it as well.
Shout out to Zoe Kravitz, waifu.
Shout out to Zoe Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yep.
Yep.
Love some Lenny Kravitz here.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, well, it's getting. Why is it so hot in here? I don't understand. Maybe it could be my lights. When I stream, I always blame lights. So yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so I think we've got a podcast, haven't we, Raj?
Yeah, we got a podcast for sure.
Definitely. So with that, guys, Raj, how about you lead us out, and
hold my hand, ladies and gentlemen. I will lead you out from this room into your reality in your lives. Thank you for spending some time here in our virtual room when we're talking about what we do and what we like to do when it comes to playing video games and watching some good Tele and stuff. Hope you got some good tips. But foremost, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and hope to talk to you soon again in a week from now. And before that, stay healthy, have fun, enjoy life, and later and all that beautiful stuff. Muffin and out. That's what I was supposed to say. Ooh.
Beautiful as always. So with that, guys, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. As always, you can find Raj at 40 Splish Splash. That's number 40 with SPLISH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. That's correct?
Yes.
That's correct. Hopefully he'll be streaming some Strinova, and I might join him.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I was thinking about that for sure. We can, yeah. Yeah.
We can arrange some stuff. But yes, you can always find me at LB Guidance, LBGRDIN. It's guidance to you, pretty much everywhere else. I have also started streaming eFootball on a new channel called Simply eFootball on YouTube. I decided to stop streaming it on this channel because I felt like it was affecting the algorithm for this channel. So I was like, you know what? I'll just make a whole channel that it's just there. You guys can find it. It's linked on this channel somewhere. So just go on the channel page.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, there's a review up from Rog. It is a Space Marines review. Go watch the review, guys. If you
Yes.
haven't seen it, it is up on this channel. You can watch it. As I said, streaming eFootball on here has hit other stuff on here. So you guys help us build back up the algorithm on this channel by going and watching the review, leaving a like, comment on it, share it, all that kind of
That
stuff.
would be nice.
I am gonna probably have to boost that review by ads or whatever just to help boost up the stuff. But also I have to put out a few. We have to put more reviews and more stuff on the channel to so like help it get into the algorithm as a review channel
some
again.
Time ago, and that's how it works on YouTube. You got to get on that bike again and start,
Yes,
moving the pedals up and down.
We've got some stuff to work with, so don't worry about that. And it's taking.
By the way, is it a particular day where you start the stream, or is it still a bit random when you?
I haven't tagged in a day yet because my schedule keeps shifting, but I will be tying on something soon. I will be tying on more like hopefully I can probably tie in a weekend because it's easier to schedule weekends because of the fact that even if I'm working or I'm doing something else, I'm usually available on a weekend. So hopefully I can tie in a weekend, maybe like you, maybe on a Sunday.
Exactly.
But
it's a pretty good day. Yeah.
Pretty good day indeed. Yes, definitely. So yeah, we'll see how it works. I'm just trying to like work things around and things, because as I say, things have been shifting up a lot in the household and family and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Anyway, that being said, that's the podcast. I am hungry. I can hear my stomach grumbling, so I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I don't know what it has in the house yet, but I'll grab a bite, maybe a sandwich or something. As always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like you subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, simply binge.com elsewhere, and with confident they're gonna like it, that will give them it for free. So as always, guys, this has been queued for your pleasure, and it's a wrap. That's the episode. Whew.
It is. Yeah,
man.
We we reached the goal line.
We have got to the goal. I need to shave, man. My beard is so bearded.
Actually, I saw that. It was 2 weeks, or you did something there.
I haven't shaved it in a while.
I didn't say anything, but I noticed before we started the stream. Now it's perfectly fine.
I need to shave. I need to get a haircut. My hair has not been cut in a while. It's all like Ty was playing with my hair yesterday. I was laying on his bed and he was just like patting my hair and playing with it and all that kind of stuff. But I need to cut it. It's kind of messy. Not happy with it.
At the same time, bro, it's getting, well, it's fall. It's gonna get winter as well. So it's nice with some hair.
Keep me warm. I'll just do the sides though. I'll just like shave the sides and shave the beard a little bit. Who knows?